Okay, folks, you got to see these crazy connections that have to do with John F. Kennedy and Donald Trump. And the only reason I'm showing this guy, because he's like the new Barack Obama to the Democrats. Let me show you this guy's connection and why he is who he is right now. And then I'm going to show you the crazy connections with JFK and Trump. This is brand new info, most of it. So you better watch the whole video. You will be amazed. So even this beginning part of this video, even though I'm showing this guy and Barack Obama, it still connects to Trump and him getting his head wound on August 4th. Okay, Donald Trump is going to get his head wound on August 4th. Now, who is this guy? He is the new Democratic Party leader. He's taking over for Nancy Pelosi. Okay? And his name is Hakeem Jeffries. And why did they pick this guy? Besides him having that Obama vibe, I'm not saying he looks like Obama. I'm just saying he has that, vibe, like he's like a gentle person, but he's hiding who he really is. A devil inside. First, let me show you why Barack Hussein Obama was chosen to be who he is, okay? Because he is the third wheel, the third part of the unholy trinity of Elvis, Trump, and, this guy, Elvis, Trump, and Barack. Let me show you why Barack is important before I show you all the new info. So the reason why Barack Hussein Obama was chosen, this is one of the reasons, is that he was born on August 4th, which is the day Trump gets his head wound, okay? And you think it's a coincidence that he was the president right before Trump? No, it's all about the fact that he had that birth date, August 4th, because that's when Trump's getting his head wound. And here's another reason. So if you were to type in Barack Hussein Obama, his full name, into my gematria calculator, see, I created this type of gematria where this is the forward number, this is the backwards it equals, and this is the totals. So his full name equals 666 in gematria. Okay? Like I said, I discovered this years ago. So here's the other reason, is the 666 connection. Okay, so here's the next reasons. So he was born on August 4th, okay? Trump is born on 6/14. That's when he's born. 6 times 14 equals 84. You see that? I told you, everything's about Trump. It has to do with the 8/4 because he's going to get his head wound on 8/4. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. And 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. So another 666 connection. So now I'm going to show you why this Hakeem Jeffries is so important, okay? First of all, he's the first black Democratic Party leader, to ever, he was the first one because he's taking over for Nancy Pelosi. And he was the eighth. He worked for the 8th Congressional District of New York as a congressman. And look at this. He's born in Crown Heights, New York, New York. That's where, that Trump's not born in Crown Heights, but Trump's born in New York, New York. Crown Heights. Look at that. And, think about it. We're talking about a crown. What's going around for the last few years, that Corona thing. Corona means crown. And Elvis is known as the king. Seattle's in King County because Seattle's going to be struck on June 11th. If you've been watching my videos, you know what I'm talking about. Elvis is the king, and he's going to get his crown. And wouldn't you know it, this Hakeem Jeffries, I told you he's born in Crown Heights. Look when he's born, August 4th. I mean, what is the chance that the guy who's leading the Democratic Party He's going to take over right now after Nancy Pelosi retires very soon, or if it's already done, I'm not sure, within a few days. Look, and he's born in 1970, 197 with a crown. The O is a crown. Why am I saying that? Because the 45th prime number is 197. See, you got the 197 with a crown. And Trump's the 45th president. Trump's going to get his head wound on 84. 84, Crown Heights. Trump is from New York. Do you get it? And like I said, Obama's born on August 4th. And like I said, he's the third part of the unholy trinity, with Elvis and Trump being at the top. And there's a reason why I'm showing you this. So if you were to put Elvis Aaron Presley, his full name, Donald John Trump, his full name, Barack Hussein Obama, his full name, into my gematria calculator, it'll equal 777 in the totals right here. This is the forward number, which is the most important. This is the backwards, and this is the total. But so yes, it's important, the 777, but what I'm about to show you is much more important. Watch. And for the people who know my videos, you know I've shown this many times in the past. So if you were to take Elvis Aaron Presley, his full name, Donald John Trump, his full name, Barack Hussein Obama, his full name, add a crown to each one of them, because the letter O is a crown. Okay, it can also be a representation of the head, the eye, a halo, an egg, whatever, a few things, but mainly it's the crown. So if you add the triple crown, because you've heard me talk about the triple crown so many times, okay, because I told you Seattle Slew won the triple crown the year Elvis died, and he did it on June 11th, and I'm telling you, June 11th is when Seattle's going to get struck, and Seattle Slew won the triple crown the year Elvis died. Anyway, back to this. So if you put this into the gematria calculator, when you add the letter O to each of their names, the letter O to each one of their names, this is what you get, the totals. Now, pay attention to how incredible this is, okay? Look at this. 840, 1122 is the total, and then 1962. So this is the year that the Space Needle opened in Seattle. And I told you Elvis was the first famous person to have anything to do with the Space Needle, because he made a movie as soon as that Space Needle opened, okay, called It Happened at the World's Fair. Anyway, what's important is this right here, 840 and 1122. Watch this. So from the day Obama was born, August 4th, 1961, to the exact day that JFK was assassinated, supposedly assassinated, the exact day and year, it's 840 days, okay? And if you include that day, it's 841, but it's 840 days to 1122. 840, 1122. 84, 84, 1122. So this is directly from my calculator. Look, see? 840, 1122. You see that? I mean, what is the chance of this? I mean, considering what I'm putting up here, what we're looking at, 840, 1122. I mean, how is this possible? From the exact day Obama was born to the exact day JFK is assassinated, it's 840 days, 1122, 840, 1122, 84. Okay, this is why Barack was chosen to play this part, because Elvis and Trump needed this. Because I told you, Trump's going to get his head wound, and JFK got the head wound. So before I show you the new JFK Trump connections, which is going to blow your mind, just real quick, let me just tell you what the 216 is about. So August 4th, like I said, not only is Obama born on August 4th, which is Trump's head wound day, that new Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, is born on August 4th, and it's the 216th day of the year, and 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. So why is the 216 so important? Because I told you my two predictions that Trump gets his head wound on August 4th is the 216th day of the year, and my other prediction is June 11th, which is the 162nd day of the year, okay? That Seattle gets struck on June 11th. So it's 16-2, 216, okay? And Elvis, he had an identical twin that died at birth, whose name is Jesse, and on the gravestone it's spelled like this, okay? So Elvis, Jesse, they were both born on 1-8. 1818 is 216, and backwards, like they say the dates in the UK, it's 8181 is 162. It's all about the 216, 16-2s. And they were identical twins. And it just so happens that identical twins equals 162 forwards, 216 backwards. So it's the June 11th day is the 162nd day of the year, and August 4th is the 216th day of the year. You see, it's right there in the words identical twins. Anyway, I could have shown you a lot more with the connection to the identical twins, because the Twin Towers fell. It all had to do with it was a ritual for Elvis. Anyway, so JFK's birthday, pay attention. He's born on 5/29, which is the 149th day of the year. August 4th, the day Trump gets his head wound, is the 216th day of the year. And what that means is, see, it's 365 days, 149 and 216. So that means that 5/29 is the backwards date of August 4th, because if 149 days would leave 216 days in the year. So that's how you figure out what is the backwards birth date. So JFK's backwards date is 8/4. You see, and he's the one who got the head wound. Do you understand? That's why this is not a coincidence, everything I'm showing you. So the incredible new information is coming right now. But first, let me just show you this. So Trump is the 45th president, right? And Elvis, he's been dead for 45 years. And he's still going to be dead all the way until next August 16th. That's when he turns 46 years dead, okay, that he's been dead. But my predictions happen in between this time period. So it'll be within the 45-year time period that he's been dead. So that's why the 45 is super important to this puzzle. So this first new information that I'm going to show is not that big of a deal. I just want to show you the connection to the 45. So JFK was assassinated on 11/22. Trump's going to get his head wound on 8/4. If you add those numbers up, 19, 11/8 is 19, 22/4 is 26, which equals 45, whichever way you go. All right, you can do the 33, 12, it's 45. So again, there's a connection to the 45 right there with JFK and Trump. And I showed this recently with some added stuff, which I'm not going to show here. I told you that JFK was the 4th assassinated president. He's the 4th one, and Trump is going to be the 5th one. But Trump comes back to life. See, his deadly wound was healed. So look, 4, 5. You see what I'm saying? The 45 again. So pay attention, it's going to get good. So you ask Google, what state did JFK get shot? It was Dallas, Texas, where he got shot, right? And it says he was going through the Daley Plaza. Look at that, Presley, L-E-Y. It's got the Elvis Presley. But look, DP, the initials is 416. That's Trump's birthday, 6/14, backwards. But forget about that. That doesn't matter. So it was in Dallas, Texas, right? So if you ask Google, where is the 214 area code? Dallas, Texas comes up, okay? Dallas, Texas has the 214 area code. And February 14th is 214. 214, what I just showed you the area code for Dallas, Texas. 214 is the 45th day of the year. There's another 45 connection. You see that? So if you ask Google, where did JFK get assassinated? It'll tell you the date, and look at the name it gives. Parkland Health, Dallas, Texas. Because he ended up going to a hospital called Parkland too. So whatever. It's got Parkland connection, right? And remember, I told you it's a 214 area code. So if you ask Google, when was the Parkland shooting? And the Parkland shooting was the Stoneman Douglas shooting, which happened in Florida, where Trump lives. You get it? Look at the date, 2/14. And remember, I told you that Parkland, where JFK was shot in Dallas, Texas, that's the 214 area code. And by the way, this Parkland Hospital where JFK was taken to, it's being demoed. The demolition just started this year. Anyway, so JFK was shot in Dallas, Texas. Dallas area code 214. 214 is the 45th day of the year. It had to do with Parkland. The Parkland Stoneman shooting happened on 214. Okay, you see what I'm saying? And there was 17 dead, and I told you Trump's going to get his head wound in Ohio, in the 17th state. Ohio's the 17th state. And they're saying there was 17 dead during that shooting. And remember, he was there during the shooting, this particular person, and he had a march for our lives because he's an activist against the GUN. Anyway, March for Our Lives. Elvis is the anagram for lives. And when did they have this protest? This guy was involved in that Stoneman shooting. He was there, I mean. You remember it was on June 11th, the day I'm telling you Seattle's going to get struck. They had a protest where the biggest one was in Washington. I told you Seattle's in Washington, but this is Washington, D.C. But Seattle's going to be, something's going to happen on June 11th. I told you next year. This was all across America, this protest, this March for Our Elvis. It was held on June 11th, okay? And they dragged a guy out who looked just like me, to talk in front of everybody at this rally. I did a whole video about it. So here's that guy that I'm talking about that kind of has that same beard as me. Anyway, so they brought this guy out, and you know why? Because because they're against the GUN. You understand? That's what they're marching for. And the image that's on his shirt, this guy, because he's the father of a victim of that Parkland shooting. And this person, that his son, let me show you his birth date. So there's his son's name. You see that? I mean, there's his son's name. And, it reminds me of the guy named Phoenix. You get what I'm saying? If you add the first name and Phoenix. Anyway, he's born on August 4th. You see? There's one of the victims of the Parkland shooting. Again, connected to what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm trying to be careful about my words here because, anyway, and like I said, I can't say what I want to say. Anyway, let's move on. And this guy was in the news because he did something that really got the attention of the news media. Let's see what he did. So you see this right here? This is a crane, okay, they use to haul stuff up to tall buildings or whatever, I don't know. But it's called a crane. He climbed up one of these cranes and he put up a sign, with the picture of his son. And look what he put up there. 45,000 people have died from GUN violence. You see? And remember, he's born on 8/4, the victim. 45 is Trump. And look what they have right here. They're covering POT, like POTUS. But that's not what it says. But look at that. POT. POTUS, president of the United States. I almost forgot what POTUS stood for. Anyway, so it has the 45, like I said, and he's born on 8/4 because Trump's the 45th president, and 8/4 is when Trump gets his head wound. And the dad climbed this crane. And what day did he climb this crane? Look, he climbed it on February 14th, which is the 45th day of the year, which is the day that the shooting happened, 214 being the Dallas, Texas area code. You see what I'm saying? And look, it says it was on 15th and H Street. And 15 plus H is the 8th letter. 15 plus 8 is 23. And I told you next year is the 23rd year. And look, Northwest, the furthest Northwest state is Washington, where Seattle's going to get struck on June 11th. But Trump gets his head wound August 4th in Ohio. So before I go to the next thing, I just want to make sure you remember. So like I said, the Parkland shooting happened on 2/14. The JFK was taken to the Parkland Hospital, the Parkland area, I guess, of Dallas, Texas. It's the 214 area code. The 214, February 14th is the 45th day of the year. Okay? And that's the day that the Parkland shooting happened in Florida. And from JFK's death date to 214, which is the 45th day of the year, it's 84 or 85 days. 84 or 85. You get what I'm saying? Trump is going to get his head wound on 8/4. So where JFK got shot was in Texas. Texas is the 28th state. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound in Ohio, which is the 17th state. 28 plus 17 is 45. You understand? And the initials of Texas and Ohio is T-O. T is the 20th letter, O is the 15th letter, equals 35. JFK was the 35th president. 35, 45. You see? So JFK was born in Massachusetts. Okay? He's born in Massachusetts. So JFK's birthplace, Massachusetts, is the 6th state. And Trump is born in New York, which is the 11th state. And I told you Seattle's going to be struck on 6/11. He's born in the 6th state, JFK. Trump's born in the 11th state. It equals 17. Ohio's the 17th state. Seattle gets struck on 6/11. 6/11. So if you look at where they're born, the birthplaces is 6 and 11, the states. If you look at the death places, Texas and Ohio is the 28-17. It's 1745. You see? 1745. So from the exact day that Donald Trump was born to the exact day that JFK was shot is 17 years, 5 months, 9 days. Look, you have the 17 years, which I told you that's when that's where he's going to get shot in Ohio. But look at the percentage. 1745.48. So the amount of time in between JFK and Trump's birthday and JFK is 1745.48%. So 17 years and then 45.48%. And I told you Ohio's the 17th state. Trump is the 45th president. Elvis has been dead for 45 years. And the 48th prime number is 223. Next year is 2023. You see that? And I told you their birthplaces and death places is 1745. And even if you were to total it this way, look at that. It's 3428. That's the next year's date, 8423. 8, 4, 2, and 3. You see that? Anyway, let's move on. And look at this. If you just go within the same year from Trump's birthday to 11/22, it's 162 days. The 162nd day of the year is June 11th, the day the Seattle event happens. And if you go from June 11th to the day JFK got his head wound, it's 165 days. June 14th, the day Trump's birthday, is the 165th day of the year. You see? Everything connects. Or if you just went from the first of the year to June 11th, it's like 12 years, 5 months, 11 days. It's 4,545 days, 45. You see that? And lands on 6/11 from the first of the year. And the reason I showed you that, because from Trump's birthday If you go forward 4,545 days, it lands on JFK's birthday. 4545. You see that? I have to go super fast because I'm running out of space in my phone. I don't have no more room to record. So if you put John Fitzgerald Kennedy and you add a crown with Donald John Trump, you put it into gematria calculator, this is what it equals. Just pay attention to this. The 84th prime number is 433. The 42nd prime number is 181. It equals 614, Trump's birthday. Elvis died at the age of 42. Washington's the 42nd state, 84. You get it? 84. This is what it equals. Washington had 2 birthdays, 211, 222. If you add that up, it's 433. The 84th prime is 433. End of video. If I went too fast, just watch it again because I got to end it. Anyway, these are my 2 predictions. Don't forget, end of video, folks.